Hey, I'm back.
What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we are talking Ahsoka, Episode 6, Far, Far Away. And we've got some special guests with us tonight. Jedi Master Chris from Fatherly Fandom, and Paul, also known as Nightsisters. And for those of you wondering, Dave will be joining us shortly. He is working with the WGA on finalizing their deal so we can finally get this strike over and we can get back to business. But before we get into all of that, gentlemen, how y'all doing?
Good. I'm good.
Well, Keith. No, I'm not gonna.
I'm sorry. I had.
I'm not gonna steal your
thought. Did you
guys,
ask me how I was doing?
Yeah, Doug, how you doing?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. I had to drop my volume real quick. I had YouTube going on in the background, and all of a sudden it started picking up on my speakers. So good time. Hey,
I heard that.
Live streams, man, always perfect.
Every time.
So anyway,
As someone who's never messed up the audio, I'm looking down.
well, Keith, let
There
me
we
tell
go.
you, I am outstanding. Turns out that you can create a feedback loop with speakers and a microphone. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
What about two turntables and a microphone? Where it's at?
Turntables and a microphone. I go tap on a microphone.
No, today's actually a good day. So not only did we get to watch another amazing episode of Ahsoka last night, but I subscribed a while ago to the Darth Vader comics just in case I end up missing one from the comic book store, and it came in the mail today, so I'm happy.
Nice.
Got a new Vader comic. I always love Vader comics.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, don't even have them showing. Wow, there we go. That's better. And hey, look at that artwork. That's pretty cool too.
I love that artwork. That's half the fun of comic books right there. It's just the amazing art that you get on each panel. Oh, so jealous.
I will be the first to admit that I will buy multiple copies of the same issue, just especially if there's like a variant cover that I really like. Like there is.
I get it, Doug.
Where it's got like a Moff Gideon on the front. It's a Vader comic. Gideon isn't even in it, but it was just a cool looking cover.
Here's Moff Gideon. I mean,
Right.
if we're gonna have Giancarlo Esposito, I mean, yeah, of course, man. We're standing for him anyways. Gotta get it. So
You mean Gus Fring?
Gus Fring, that's right.
Why was Gus Fring on the cover? That's what
Gustavo Fring. Yes.
Well, you know what? I've hugged enough microphone time. Chris, sir, how are you?
Oh man, it is a glorious day. I am golden like the face of Enoch over here, man. Living large.
That was a good reference.
Yeah, right. Loving what we're getting with the Ahsoka series. It's a beautiful day, man. It's finally getting cool outside, so I'm able to wear some of my hoodies now. Tech on show today, so man, it's great. Great day with the kids, dropping them off at cello lessons, getting back here to talk to you fine gentlemen about this episode of Ahsoka. So I'm prepped. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Now, I just have to ask, Chris, because I know last night you were cosplaying as Ezra. Can you take your hat off? Are you still cosplaying as Ezra?
I think so, too, if you guys want to see. It's still crazy. Not as crazy as yesterday, though. But it is getting long, so you'll see me with hats for a while now. Instant hair fixer.
But you wear too many of them.
Is that how it happens? Oh, crap.
I wore a lot of
my
hats
mom
when I was
used to tell
young.
me when I was a kid, if you wear too many hats, you're going to go bald.
Dang it. I miss that speech.
And, we're already getting some comments from Sierra that Sabine sucks.
Oh, I was wondering.
Did you see how she bonded with the Howler, Sierra?
Yeah,
she was
that was some
friends
good
with the,
Howler relationship there.
Oh,
She
Lord.
does not like Sabine at all.
I know. I was
clearly.
wondering yesterday on the stream. I was like, I wonder how Sierra thought of Sabine this episode. Clearly, hasn't changed her mind, right, Paul?
In Sierra's
Never
defense,
changed.
Never
in
changed.
Sierra's defense, she was, pretty irredeemable. Yeah, as you put it.
I
Oh,
mean, this
wow.
episode didn't really
We-
change that too.
We
you
just
know?
got a super chat from Fatherly Fandom.
Oh my God, Fatherly Phantom, dude!
Holy molies.
Thank you, good sir. Oh wait, that's me.
You guys rock. I know.
You know, and for
You
all
have
you
an
other guys out there,
You have an
out
incredible
there.
knack for pointing out the obvious.
I do. That's my biggest knack. It's always pointing out the obvious, and being oblivious at the same time. It's great. That's what I do. So for everybody out there, you should do a super chat as well. I mean, we get so much content from Not Your Status Quo. Endless amounts of free entertainment here, for God's sakes. I've seen so much of their stuff. I actually used to watch you guys, like, your older stuff, and I've watched, like, most of the catalog on through. And so it's like, you gotta give back if you're enjoying this stuff, if you can. When you have the means, give a little back if you can. So, it's my philosophy. I think it should be your philosophy, too.
Uh-oh. Sierra has a whole
I
3
have
points.
3 point...
No,
I assume
no-
you mean Infinity Gems?
It's only 3 points?
I was going to
It's
say
not like
no
10
voices
points?
Right.
tonight.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it looks like I got a fan out in the chat too.
Keith is
Drastic
weird.
Darbs.
Keith
right.
is weird.
What?
It's weird.
Do you know this person?
Let me just say, Drastic Darbs. 1, you don't know how to spell drastic. The way you fixed it. And 2, you're grounded. Have fun getting to your drive.
Oh, boy.
That's actually my daughter. So thank you for joining. I
It'd have been
appreciate
interesting
it.
if
And,
it was a...
and
was
I
a
am very
stranger.
weird.
You know what?
I heard that
though?
on the streets all the
Weird
time.
people are the best
Me too.
people.
They are the best people. Look
Paul,
where they're coming from.
I don't think we heard
Yeah.
from you, and if we did, I apologize because I'm, all over the place. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. Can't wait to get
Are you
in.
are you also hating on Sabine tonight?
I mean, Sabine have done some things that made my eye twitch.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm just like,
Same.
see, my eyes twitching, but
The eye twitch.
I know I can't wait till she has that conversation. I cannot
Yeah.
wait for his reaction.
Dressing Darbs wants to know, and where's Dave?
Where is Dave? Guys, we lost him.
He is helping with the strike. He's a mediator for the strike, and he should be joining us soon once he gets the actors and writers strikes wrapped up here. Should be any minute.
Well, Keith says something completely different on the screen here.
Who is that Keith Richter making what is
I
going
know.
on here?
Contradictory comments on the screen. Who's right? Who's wrong? We'll never know. Is it Keith?
And
or
yes,
is it
Sarah,
Keith?
you've really got to stop, telling people that I keep people in my basement. It's just not correct. It's basically a lie. And if you keep sending the police to my house, and they keep sending the dogs in because they smell something funny, just let it go, man. Be like Chillbot.
Yeah, just be like Chillbot, who got so much screen time in this
Yeah.
episode. Did you
And was
notice?
way less chill.
He was way less chill. I wanted more moments with Chillbot. That should be his own podcast, Moments with Chillbot.
Deep thoughts with Chillbot.
Chillbot, are we getting ready to drop out of hyperspace? In a moment.
Maybe, dude. We'll see.
I mean, like, there's bones.
Don't harsh my
everywhere.
buzz.
Like,
Aren't we
I don't know,
all
man.
in hyperspace like all the time? If you think about it.
It's like I constantly see all these colors everywhere, man. Who's this? Saying you don't see this all the time? Chill, man.
Hey! We're getting ready to have another fellow nerd. Perfect timing.
Boom, boom.
Y'all ready for
Brace
this?
yourself.
I was just about to do
that.
I was just about to start humming that.
Yeah, there he is. Man of
What
the
is up,
hour.
fellow nerds? How's it all
What's
going?
happening?
What's going on, Sir Dave?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of really good dinner.
Happy birthday to your daughter, by the way.
Yep.
I will
happy
relay
birthday.
the message from all of you. Yeah.
Outstanding. So, Dave, how are you, sir?
I am grand. I'm having a good few days here. Nice show last night, but didn't get home until like 2:00 in the morning after we were done playing it like 10. So that kind of sucked. But the rest of it was good. It was a good time. And today's just been Jacqueline's birthday, so we went out to dinner.
Then.
Very nice place. Yeah. How far are you guys into your discussion?
We have not started.
We just
I
finished.
just started.
Well, you guys are sending me mixed signals there.
I know. So much contradictory information coming here.
So, Drastic Darbs claims that we need to put Dave in the middle and the circle thing up higher. It's uneven. Well, maybe it's uneven to you, but it will work for me as soon as I'm able to get the little video clip that I want playing down here at the bottom. Trust me, it would have worked, but my video clip was too long.
There was a method to the madness, guys.
There was.
Sierra
It all
says
made sense.
my sister's birthday. Birth.
And we're kind of like praising Dave here on the side. It's like, hi Dave. Oh, he's
Thank
above
you.
us all.
Just like have ray of light coming out of my.
Right? He's like one of the Nightsisters of Dathomir.
That's that would have been
Boom.
a perfect screenshot. If I would have been like this. Chris would have been in the other direction. There we go. And then Paul, and then Keith. Keith, hands the other way. There you go.
I'm reversed on my screen.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta reverse it.
Somebody take the picture.
All right.
There we go. We got it. Perfect. I
That's
love
the
it.
thumbnail.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was great. We got to actually see in live action the Sisters of Dathomir.
Yes. Yes.
The
Exile.
grandmothers. The grandmothers. They weren't
Grandmother.
just sisters. That was
The Great Mothers.
the
Great
great
Mothers.
mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the grandmothers would be just too easy.
The
to
grandmothers. they're over there knitting a sweater for
Knitting some witch sweaters.
That
Making
girl
cookies.
looks a little cold. I'm
They
gonna
make
make her
cookies.
remember. Why are her hands bound? Just let her out.
You want some
Well-
cookies?
How'd you like the way Thrawn looked as well?
Thought
And
he looked great.
it was great, and he had the still that's what I liked about Thrawn on Rebels was that he had the quiet confidence of everything he did. He never got excited about anything. He just knew something was going to happen. And obviously, it's the same guy who played him.
Yeah.
His voice.
Yeah, same
But he
guy,
did
same voice
a
actor.
great job. Yeah,
I will
he
say,
did.
I think that
Mads
is the
Mikkelsen's older
perfect
brother.
voice for him.
But Doug, but
Personally,
oh,
this
we're gonna
is
have some
just me.
umbrage.
I didn't think he looked that great.
Oh,
So, okay.
Do you think he
I
looked
thought
kind
the
of
voice was
plasticky?
perfect. He nailed it. He obviously
voice.
sounds like
Oh.
Thrawn.
Mhm.
They did a great job casting him for Rebels. But I think to me, when I saw him on screen, he looked more stiff than normal. He carried himself a little odd. And I don't know. I did not look up his IMDb. So, I'm clearly not prepared for this. But I don't know how much acting experience outside of being a voice actor he has. But he didn't look comfortable in this episode. He looked very stiff. He looked tired. He kind of carried himself a little odd. Now, that could be that he was doing that on purpose because, in this episode, Thrawn is clearly wanting to get off this planet. He's been, as he puts it, exiled here for years and years and years. So maybe that was why he looked that way. But I don't know. To me, it looked off.
Yeah, and we were discussing this beforehand too. So, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you. I was gonna say hi to you guys. Hi.
Well, hi.
What's
Happy
happening?
birthday.
Hello,
You're
hello.
on the live stream.
Yeah.
Sierra's
Welcome
watching.
to the show.
Hey, sister. You guys didn't send me birthday box.
Yeah.
What?
What's wrong with you?
They have a birthday box.
I know it, but who's they?
Sierra, mom.
Oh,
I thought you were
Look
talking
it
to
up,
me and
Sierra.
Keith.
Yeah, like,
Sorry.
guys, come on, Chris, Keith, Doug, Paul, you guys didn't sing me Happy Birthday.
I know. What's wrong with
Oh
us?
yeah, no, we don't want to get
Have-
copyright strike.
Have you heard of Snake?
Dang. It's
Oh,
true.
you better get ready.
Sponsor us.
Just about to call me. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
But yeah, Doug and I were kind of talking about this, and you commented on the video, and I feel like there might be a purpose for the reason he is kind of slow and sluggish or tired. Like this guy has been surviving on this exiled planet in Peridea, trying to make ends meet, get his Star Destroyer up and going again, make sure that his little night troopers are good to go as well. So I think that he's just like, I want to get out of here. Let's do what we need to do. We need to load up the ship. Okay, it's going to take 3 days. I don't care about your mercenary dark Jedi guys. We got to get out of here. We got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I didn't have much of a problem with it, and I had to, Doug, I had to accept the fact that this Thrawn is a little different than the one I was used to from the books, as well on Rebels.
Fair
But
point.
that's a younger version, and so I'm like, well, he's been through some stuff, obviously, and he's older, so this is a new version of Thrawn, and just I had to accept that, and I was like, okay, I can accept that, and I can go along for this ride. So
And
That's
remember,
what I
he did say later in the episode, he said our numbers have dwindled during
Yeah.
our exile.
So
And we
they've been
know
through some
from
stuff.
Thrawn that he does not like losing his men. He does not like anyone dying on his watch.
no,
And it seems like that is weighing on him greatly because
Hell.
he's in a
sure.
different galaxy.
What
I mean,
hell? Speaking of dying on his watch.
Doug, you can't do that without glasses on.
Oh, hold on. One
You
moment.
gotta have the glasses.
oh yeah, where are the
I
glasses?
got you. I got
You're
you.
interrupting Keith. You gotta have it.
Dave. I got you, Dave.
And you got to dramatically take them off. Do it.
Well,
Thank you. I could die happy now.
what's the over under on those night troopers? Are they alive or okay?
Called Night
Were they dead and
Troopers.
are they now reanimated?
I wonder.
I think they're green smoke. I think they set it up with Marok earlier.
Oh, you're
And I
right.
think we're going to see that first fight and someone's going to get
Yeah.
cut. And it's just.
Yeah.
I think
We-
so too. But
It's really dark.
even more so, here's my first theory of the night. You ready for this?
Mhm.
Nope.
Okay.
All of those night
Get your pole.
troopers are the former corpses of the stormtroopers that Chopper has killed.
Oh, they got a vendetta for chaps. Yes.
Zombie stormtroopers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on,
But-
Chop. He's fueling their
There's-
team.
There should be a lot more. Where are the rest of them?
That's right.
Yeah.
It is
There is a
Could be
lot more.
Well, those are the troops that he said that he lost.
Well,
Those
here's
are the
my
ones that
question.
were incinerated.
Here's my
Good
question
point.
about the whole thing. How long has it actually been? They don't look like Ezra did not look like he aged that much. So how long
Well-
they keep talking about how long they've been in exile? How long has it actually been?
I think it'd be easy enough to figure out. So, the end of Rebels that takes place about a year or so before,
The Battle of Yavin.
before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
about a year
9
before that,
years,
and then
10 years.
this takes place at the same time as Mandalorian season 3,
Mhm.
which we know the first season of Mandalorian took place 5 years right after
After Return of the Jedi.
after
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, and then Dave Filoni insinuated, we still don't know, that Grogu spent about 5 years training with Luke.
I thought he said 2 years.
2 years?
I thought it was 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so what in total he's been stranded on that planet for what, like 6 or
30
7
years.
years?
I'm saying a nice round number here, 10 years.
10 years. That works for
And
me.
that's believable. He was a teenager. He was like, young guy. So going from a teenager to their 20s. Hey, you want to say hi? My boy,
And I don't-
that's JJ. We're getting
Hey,
family.
hey,
in
how's
here.
it going?
Welcome to the channel.
Bringing
got
all
some
the family in?
pretzels.
Do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
No, wait.
So I'm saying
No.
10 years.
Well, good,
I'm wondering about that math. You said when was the Battle of Yavin?
I'm the one who stabs him with the light.
So
The
the
Battle
Battle
of
of
Yavin
Yavin
was zero.
was 0 BBY.
BBY and
Okay.
ABY.
How much time is between all those the original trilogy? Isn't that like 27 years, something like that? 25, 27?
The
between
original
all three
trilogy
of
is
them?
like 3 years or so.
Yeah, I don't think it was that long. That's why
It's not
I
that
used to
long.
always joke about
Because
how,
me and
you know,
Keith had to
people are
talk
like,
about this. And we
Luke,
actually
Luke
looked
is
it up.
seriously trained. It's like, was he though?
Maybe we can look that up again because I remember talking
Yeah.
about this with Keith on here, and we determined it had been like 20 something years between all three.
I don't
Oh,
remember
no.
it being.
Between all three,
I
really?
think there's a big gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. But
Oh,
between
yeah.
A New Hope
Between that.
and Return of the
Jedi.
I almost said Revenge of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. I thought it was
what it
like
was
4
originally.
years.
Yeah.
4?
Yeah, I don't think it's that long, Dave.
Well,
So
I mean, it
yeah,
was
so
6.
between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, there's a 20-year gap in there for when Luke is a
Right.
baby from when
Yep.
he's an adult. So yeah, and currently 9 ABY is when the Mandalorian takes place. So from that starting point, and then we have what 2 years,
3 years.
after the Mandalorian. So 11,
Wow.
12 maybe. So
Then what are they complaining about their exile for? 12 years is nothing.
12 years.
They've been like,
I
I've
don't
been
know,
away
that'd be
for
pretty
so
long.
long. You haven't been away that long. Jackass.
It was a
Okay,
long
let's
time
see.
ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Long. Did you guys like that? I
Loved it so
I love
much.
that.
So much.
Same.
I squeed like a girl.
Perfect. Ah man.
What, when you saw
Hey,
the
You
title?
guys saw my reaction. It was like,
When
when Huyang said it.
Young, yeah.
Oh,
Oh. And who else wants
So-
those 3 history books? I was like, I wanted Huyang to sit there so I could listen
Now-
to it.
I don't know. Did anyone else get a feeling that History of the Galaxy Part 1 was not a James Mangold's movie that's going to be coming out? Because it's going to be like the first Jedi in the,
Mm-hmm.
furthest time they
Could be.
remember in the galaxy.
no,
I was like,
no,
I think
I got Mel Brooks from that.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, history of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, History of the World Part 1.
Part 1. Yeah. That is the best part. So there we go. Yeah. Ahsoka's right.
and there was 4 years
assume-
between the Battle of Yavin and the events of Return of the Jedi. I just
Wait,
looked.
how long?
Boom. 4 years.
Sorry.
4
Wow.
years.
4 years.
There's
Okay.
6 years between the movies, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
77, Return of the Jedi came out in 83. That's 6 years.
It makes
So
sense.
just for the movies are a longer period of time.
Yeah. So 4 years, 5 years after Return of the Jedi for the Mandalorian. Yep, that all tracks. Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I don't feel bad for them then. Screw them. They haven't been gone that long.
They haven't been gone that long. They've been in another galaxy with no friends.
Mhm.
They don't speak the language. That would weigh heavy on
Yeah.
people. Ezra's been hanging out with
right
snail
now.
people. He's been hanging out with snail people. He's probably like, come on. We're moving
He's
again.
kicking rocks the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't know what those snails can do. They didn't show you everything they can do. I'm sure they can
They're
do some
dressed
stuff
pretty
that-
snazzily, though.
Yeah, you don't know. They can build buildings.
Well, they can build hammocks because we saw that little baby
Yeah.
in his own little hammock. And I could
Oh,
only
that was
thank
adorable.
God, I could only thank Hello Kitty that Grogu was not with him to eat that little baby frog.
Oh,
Oh,
I was worried about the dog rat thing, but yeah, Grogu, totally.
yeah. Howlers?
Is that what
Dog
it's called?
rat.
A howler?
Yeah, they're called howlers. And I found
Yeah,
out some
okay,
information. They're actually from the original galaxy. They're not from Peridea. And they
Really? They
appeared
were
in
brought there.
a video game. So they were in Star Wars Jedi Knight. And they're actually from, get this, Yavin 4. Is where they appeared.
Wow.
The howlers. So,
Is that
Yeah.
the one that goes to 200 degrees below zero at sunset? Or is that Yavin 3? I'm just
yeah. I think that's Celsius 0.
I've got a question. So since we've seen something that came from the original galaxy, and
Mhm.
we've already kind of surmised that Jawas can be on multiple different planets.
Oh,
Do you
when are the
think
Jawas showing up?
found their way to this new galaxy too, or
Oh,
maybe
for
this
sure.
is where they came from?
For sure. 100%. They have at least been there or come from there.
We're just going
Nightsisters
to
and
see one
Jawas.
scurrying in the background carrying a furry egg and be like, there they are.
Ahsoka!
You don't
But
see
still?
any junk laying around, so there's definitely
No.
Jawas there cleaning
Been
it up.
clean.
they picked it all up already.
That's the
They'll sell
real
it back
reason
to
you
all
see
the
all the
money.
whale bones everywhere. They actually cleaned all the carcasses. You know,
Those rings were crazy.
that was crazy. And Keith and me were talking about, I'm concerned for the purrgils that are heading that direction. They're going there to die.
Yeah, what was up with Thrawn? It's just like, and shoot any of the star whales with prejudice.
I'm like, no, don't do that.
It's so mean, dude.
It's gonna be a
didn't do
battle of
anything.
the whales and the chimera.
Mhm.
But once again, they've been living on star whale blubber for the last 10 years that they've been stuck on Peridea.
Yep.
So he's probably just hungry. He's
But
like, we're about to
only-
make this jump back to the galaxy. I gotta take all of those
Yeah.
boxes was just filled with purrgil blubber, and they're gonna take it back as a new delicacy into
Right.
the old galaxy.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, you
lot
can
of
tell
purple
that
blubber.
white uniform isn't fitting as well as it used to. And it's all that purrgil whale blubber that they've been consuming all this time.
He's gonna look at Ezra like before they leave and be like, "Who's the Purrgil Lord now?"
Yeah, exactly. How much whale blubber have you eaten? Yes, I've eaten it all.
Maybe a purrgil really hurt his feelings. And he's like Moby Dick.
So he's
like
just been
hunting
waiting
Moby
for this
Dick.
dude.
He's
Oh,
like
it nailed
the
it.
Moby Dick of purrgil.
Well, you know what? All of that damage on his Super Star Destroyer was when the Purrgils took it to this other galaxy. So he's probably like putting that gold plating on, like,
Yeah,
damn whales.
Not this
One
time.
of these days.
yeah.
That's
it.
I still want to know how he managed to actually make it there in one piece. Like my theory
a vacuum
originally
of
was
space.
that there was
Yeah.
no way he could have survived.
Mm-hmm. They
You
must
know,
have
like,
the
there were
purrgils must
holes.
have made a nice little cushion there, you know.
Little
it kept
force
it vacuum of
shield.
space.
Force.
How did they
That
get
could be
separated?
it.
How do they get separated? Did we already go over this when I wasn't here yet? How did Ezra and Thrawn get separated?
They didn't explain.
They haven't
that.
told
They
us
didn't
yet.
explain that.
Okay, so we don't have a theory on that?
No, because
No,
Thrawn
no,
always
it has
thought he was
theories.
dead.
What's that?
Like he.
Do you have a theory?
Thrawn,
No, I don't have
Thrawn-
a theory. But go ahead. Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Thrawn thought he might be dead, so he was like, I don't even know where he's at. He might not even be around. Doesn't seem to even care about Ezra.
It's
And
like,
Ezra
did he
doesn't even
fall
seem
out
to
of the
care
ship?
about Thrawn. It's like, what's going on?
At least not yet. But
Yeah.
once he finds out what Sabine did,
Oh yeah, it's like, damn it, all that hard
know-
work for nothing.
And you've got Caleb was talking about, they're definitely going to forgive Sabine. And I do have a theory on how she will be forgiven.
Mhm.
Because even though it was probably the wrong thing to do to come to this galaxy, and just for Ezra, because it is going to bring Thrawn back to the original galaxy, there is going to, if you remember the conversation that Huyang and Ahsoka had, he's like, everybody's answers are different. She felt compelled to do this. So it could be the right answer. Ezra is going to be the key to maybe not defeating Thrawn here, but whatever greater evil is possibly coming, Ezra is going to be the key. So without him, our galaxy could have been destroyed. But since she came to save him, that's how they're going to find out a way to sort of exonerate, if that's the right word, Sabine.
Yeah.
She made what seemed like a poor decision in the moment, but it's going to be good after time
Well,
passes.
as Huyang put it, he kind of implied, like, maybe this was her only choice. This is where the Force led her.
Yeah, that's what they highly insinuated, that this is the will of the Force. So, like in which she would say, I am as the Force wants me to be. So, yeah.
And I think Hu Yang is there to reel Ahsoka in.
Reel her in.
Pump the brakes. Because when she
Pump the
starts
brakes.
talking and he says, well, here's a different point of view, she just says, all right, tell me a story.
And,
Now, by the way, I do have a theory on why Ezra and Thrawn are not together and they don't seem to care.
Mhm.
I
They
think
don't
we
like
may
each other?
find out that when they first got there, Ezra is the one who took his numbers down, why his troopers are dwindled. And it got to the point where he was like, you know
So it's
what?
like, not worth it.
Let him go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do. Go get killed by those
And he's that powerful.
bandits, the samurai bandits. Go do what you want to do. I don't care because I have to keep my people good until we can get back. I'm not fighting some crazy Jedi, Joris Sabath, Ezra Bridger in this galaxy. Go off. Hang out with some rock snails. I don't care.
True.
Do what you want to do.
He had quite a pause there too, like when they asked him to send more troops out, and he's just like, no, and so you might be right, Keith.
So Sierra wants to know, did we talk about Sabine yet? Oh boy, she wants to
Are we ever?
I'm almost wondering if we just need to invite her one of these days. Just let her
We
rant
do.
about Sabine.
You can go in there with Paul right now.
Yeah, get in there, Sierra.
Come on,
You know,
Pierre, come on.
she always wants to talk about Sabine, her favorite character. Not,
She
she
loves
finally got
favorite
enough
Love Sabine.
screen time this episode.
She loves Sabine.
It's her favorite
Sabine
character.
this
She
episode.
cosplays
She
as
is
Sabine all the
fantastic.
time.
Attack on Shows here. He says, I'm not angry.
Nice.
I'm just disappointed.
I did miss Hera this episode though.
Yeah, I'd like to see her back too. I just want to see the whole gang together.
Oh, I thought you
And
meant
Zeb.
that you wanted to see her back.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Well, Dave definitely does. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Family Channel.
They gotta go grab Zeb
Family Channel.
from the X-wing Rangers.
Let me just say one thing about Hera's back. Giggity, giggity.
You.
Goo.
That's
Sierra says,
what's
okay,
the-
but she basically just undone everything that Ezra did. Yeah, and when he finds out, probably not going to be happy. You know what?
Not a happy
we've been
camper.
theorizing. We've been theorizing that Ezra is probably going to be pretty quick to dabble in the dark side. This might push him. He's going to feel some anger.
Well,
anger leads to hate.
Somebody pointed this out. I
Hate
think I
leads
don't know
to
if it's one of
suffering.
us, but at the beginning when they're showing all the masks, all the in the intro, Sabine's mask is red,
Yeah,
and the other ones are
but
blue.
Marox is blue. Yeah.
So does that mean she's evil? She's going to
I don't
be
know.
going to the dark side? Was that you that brought that up, Keith?
One of the guys on our chat yesterday brought that up.
Yeah.
I forget who it
I know
was.
Ryan Airy mentions that all the time. He seems to put a lot of stake in the
I don't.
in the color of the masks. I don't.
Yeah, Ryan
I've never
Airy
seen the
also
connection.
thought that Marok was Ezra and
Yeah.
Darth Maul's coming back. And he
No.
likes it. And I love theories too, don't get me wrong. I
Mhm.
love coming up with crazy theories, even though they're probably not going to come true because they're fun. But I don't put a lot of stock in what color the masks are in the intro.
Right.
No.
That's too big. I think it's more of a red herring
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah!
Oh!
I think you're just saying that because you don't have a mask on there.
Attack on Show. Did anyone think the witches picking up Jedi may not have been Sabine? Oh, when they said, we smell Jedi.
I thought they were talking about Balin and Shin at first.
That's what I
but then I was
thought,
like, oh,
honestly.
Sabine. But that's an interesting thing that they caught that she reeks of Jedi. I'm like, oh.
That's why
Oh.
Balin brought her,
Yeah. I was like,
so
that
he
is-
could mask his
Very interesting.
energy.
Dave, I love that theory. You know
I
what?
love that
I'm not even
theory
going to
too,
pump the
Dave.
brakes. I'm throwing a rock on the gas pedal.
Okay.
Right on.
We're flying
Dave,
on
Cinder
that,
block.
baby.
I like that too,
Jeez.
Dave. That's good. That it
That is
masks
good.
him.
I didn't even think of that.
Genius.
And he said on the show he doesn't give a shit about. Sorry, family show. He doesn't care about Thrawn's mission. He's there for something else. He's there to
to
start.
break the cycle.
Yes.
And so I did a little bit more research on that, and he was talking about the history of, the Empire rises and the dark side and the light side are constantly fighting each other for supremacy in the galaxy. And so he's trying to break that cycle. And so I'm wondering too, will that have anything to do with somehow trying to bring more balance to the Force? Are we going to finally see these motifs that are coming into the show about us finding a middle ground? Maybe that's something that he's searching for on Peridea. And maybe that's what happens with Ahsoka. And that's where she's leading. And she's the eventual outcome of all of this.
Ooh.
She is
What do you
Ahsoka the
think?
White.
Yeah. So I was like, ooh, I think they're setting us up for that. I think that's what Balin was talking about, where I trained you to be something more than a
Yes.
Jedi. Exactly.
Oh. He's
So-
gonna use her. She's gonna be a tool.
Yep.
Mm.
So there you
And
go.
here- This is straight up poetry.
Mm-hmm.
It rhymes.
Gave up the galaxy for Ezra when Ezra
Mhm.
gave up himself for the galaxy.
For the galaxy.
That's beautiful.
Beautifully done. Oh, Dave Filoni, dude. And did you catch there too the way that Balin was talking about the Jedi trained after the fall of the Jedi and everything for Order 66? He was calling them like wild Jedi, but he said Boken Jedi as well. And if you guys didn't know, Boken is actually the wooden sword, which actually Sabine Wren was using in her training earlier in the earlier episodes. And so basically, it's basically saying they're fake Jedi. So he considers Ezra, Sabine, he considers Luke Skywalker to be fake Jedi. So I was like, ooh,
Because they didn't go through the actual
mhm,
training
Trial.
at the Jedi Temple.
correct.
And you know what? Him underestimating Ezra is going to be his downfall.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I
I think
would
you might be right, Keith.
I will say, to a point, I kind of agree as far as like Luke goes, because he had
Mhm.
maybe tops a year of training on and off
I
with
know, right?
Yoda. And like most of it was just like carrying him around a swamp. And then he
Mhm.
found these books, and all of a sudden, I'm a Jedi
Yeah.
and I've got a school now. Are
Yep.
you though?
Yeah.
You know one guy. Are you though? Are you really? Are you really?
But to be fair, it's 5 years. It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. He's had a lot of time, so to train himself and become a master, and he's probably been conversing with Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe Anakin too, the Force Ghosts and everything, and Yoda. Training himself.
I need the
getting better in
ghost
the
of
Force.
Mace Windu to show up
Yeah.
to Luke and be like, "You may have your temple, but we do not award you the rank of master."
Rank of master.
He
No,
gets
he-
upset.
Yeah, I
He
want to
would
see how
totally
it's
give Luke the rank of master just in front of Anakin. He'd be like, "Hey, Luke, guess what? You're a master. You don't even have to work for it."
That'd be such a dick move.
See that, Anakin?
You see what I did?
Did my hands?
And he just flips out again. God,
Yeah.
I
That's
said I
why he
was
goes
sorry.
to the dark side with Ahsoka. Because he's pissed off about Luke.
So you've got Caleb says also, does every Jedi need to go through exile now since the temple was destroyed? Is that the rite of passage / trials now? Like Obi-Wan, Yoda, Kanan, Ahsoka, Kestis, Siri, Luke, and now Ezra. Even Sabine has been through an exile away from Mandalore.
Great point.
That's an excellent
And you know what?
point.
That is a biblical motif right there, because like the Israelites, when their temple was destroyed, they went into exile in Babylon, same type of thing. So that kind of storytelling motif has been done time and time again in religions, which George Lucas liked to bring in with the story. So
It's poetry.
great one, Caleb.
Right.
It's very, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think so. There has to be some sort of exile
You
for
know,
these Jedi.
I
Until
have
a
a
new
theory
Jedi
too.
temple.
I have a new theory on something that happened in the Mandalorian season 2
Okay.
and what we've seen in this season of Ahsoka.
Mhm.
We know that Grogu is not going to train with Luke.
Right.
Ahsoka wouldn't train him when they first met, and I think we now know it's because of her failures with Sabine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now that she's
I
made
agree.
peace with Anakin and probably with training Sabine, do you think that she may go back and be the one who, I won't say takes on as a Padawan, but trains with him, helps him through these things, visits, kind of shows him through, because he wasn't at Luke's temple.
Have a
He's not going to
competing
be.
school.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Could be.
All right. Political theory for the world of Star Wars. The government, the New Republic government, only has a budget to support one Jedi temple, and so each of them now are going to have to fight and scrape by
Like,
to
crap.
determine
Yeah.
who gets the funding.
Yeah.
And it turns out Ben was secretly turned to the dark side just so that way Ahsoka could get the funding.
Oh.
I don't think she would ever start a school. I think she knows that the Jedi way was wrong. I do think she's going to train Force users. Rey's going to have her Jedi text and being like, "You can't have attachments. Nothing has ever went wrong with that. Let's do things by the book." And Ahsoka's like,
Mm-hmm.
bitch.
And that's
no.
where we're leading. This
Yeah,
is
I
exactly
agree
where
with
we're
this,
leading
yeah.
with this. Yeah, because like this is honestly how the Jedi should be after this point. It's like we did things wrong. We had it wrong with this. We need to adjust our thinking and expand our view to incorporate what, will not let us fail again here. And what do we see in the sequels?
That's what Balin was talking about in this episode. He's like,
Yep,
Exactly.
I agree.
he loved the idea of the Jedi,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
their beliefs he didn't agree with that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved that line that he said when Shen
love
asked
all
him,
of
"Do you
his
ever miss
lines.
it?
Mm-hmm.
You ever miss
I
it?
love the idea of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so
Miss
great.
the
Ray
idea,
Stevenson.
not what they became."
Yeah, it's really too bad Ray Stevenson won't be back.
I know. Oh, I really hope
Even
that
him
they...
just looking around in a scene is like, oh my god, that's so great. And he's just
so
like,
stoic. Yeah.
Commanding presence.
Yep. Definitely does have a commanding presence. That's right, Dave. For sure. And I got a little bit of information too about the Great Mothers as well for the Dathomir that we saw. So they were exiled there on Peridea as well, and very much you guys got the Mother Talzin vibe from those. I love that, And basically they were modeled off of Greek mythology, the Sisters of Fate, and they talked about fate a lot too in that. So they're based off of Atropos, Clotho, and I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher these. Lachesis. And the names for these three witches is Actropo, Clotho, and Lachesis. It's like so similar. It's like, oh, okay. So you just change their names up just a tiny bit. But yeah, that's what they're based off of. So
That makes sense.
They're playing with the fates.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought you
And
said
they're the
Clortho, and I was like, isn't that from Ghostbusters?
Clotho. Clotho. Gozer?
Goes.
Vince Clortho.
Very big in Samaria. Very big.
It's Clotho. It's a big in Samaria. Yep.
No, that really does fit because they kept mentioning what is it, the thread tells us or whatever. Whenever they were speaking about the future, they were saying essentially the same thing that the Greek fates say.
Exactly, and I
because
picked up
they
that
deal
too.
with the thread of life.
And yeah, that's covered in some comics too, in some of the comics. And I think it's in, was it in Marvel? Is it Marvel or DC that they
It's
go
Marvel.
over? It is Marvel. Yeah, so I know I've read that before about the Sisters of Fate, and then they cut the cords and whatnot. So Sabine is the loose thread in this thing, and it's fun that Balin's the one that brought her. So the Will of the Force might be working counter to what these Sisters of Fate are seeing. Thoughts?
well, and it
comments?
was, and remember too, Thrawn was very much, he's like, you didn't tell me about this prior. And they're like, it's the loose thread. We didn't see it. And it's like, he's starting to be like, okay, I can't trust them completely with the information they're giving me.
Yeah. Can't sell them the snake oil anymore, guys. Sorry.
See, but that's the cool thing about Thrawn.
Yeah.
He just at that point he made that check mark off in his head. He's already
knew
thinking
instantly.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's thinking
he
5
knew
steps
instantly
down
it
the
was
line.
Ahsoka that was coming. He's like, oh, it's Ahsoka. Let's assume she's alive until we verify that. I love how calm, cool, and collected this guy and calculating he is. I love that we're getting that in his character.
He's a very excellent villain.
Oh, and what did you guys think of the line when he finally decides, let's assume that Ahsoka Tano is alive. I need to know her history, her background, the planet that she comes from. He was rattling off all the things like he did back in Rebels in the books, because that's how he's able to be such a good tactician. He learns everything about his enemy.
Everything.
Which we've seen that with Balin too. Because remember when she's like, I want you to go to Lothal, and he's like, Ahsoka's former apprentice is there, Sabine Wren. He knows all of this stuff prior, just like, and of course, as Chris and I were talking last night, Thrawn knows. He's worked with Anakin, he's worked with Vader, and I think it was the second book of Ascendancy. He figures out that Anakin is Darth Vader. So when he sees that, when he realizes Anakin was her master, I think we're going to see him maybe show just a hint of fear.
Probably, yeah, I could see that.
Or he might try to use that against her.
Oh, for sure.
Try to play mind games with her.
And I think he's gonna bring up like Sabine Wren and her attachment to her and be like, "This was what happened with your master, and your apprentice is diving into the dark side or whatnot and trying to play with her emotions when it comes to that."
Your apprentice basically is letting me go back to the galaxy and rule as I was destined. Yeah, but I think he wasn't counting on Ahsoka being in the world between worlds with her shadow self and coming at peace with everything that has happened. So I think that's going to be a flaw in his plan.
For sure, yeah. You can be as calculated as you want, but with the will of the Force and somebody that's devoted to seeing that through, your efforts aren't going to work. Same thing with Palpatine. Like, he knew everything that was coming. He knew the future and everything, and still all collapsed because that was the will of the Force. So, name of the game.
By the way, while we're talking about manipulators, I think one of my favorite lines in this episode, Balin goes to visit Sabine in her little cell early on. And he's like, I figured you would use this time for reflection. And she's like, I don't do that. He goes, I can understand why. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Balin, that is not nice.
I know.
But putting that doubt in her head, making sure that she kind of is going to, not have that confidence to do what she needs to do. I'm like, damn, that's playing the long game right there.
Definitely.
See that coming up by Sierra on the screen right there? I replied, Ahsoka doesn't yell. So she ain't going to be yelling at nobody.
Yeah. And she kind of has let that go. Like, and you saw that in the beginning conversations with Huyang. It's like, yeah, this happened and that, she did this and it caused this and war is going to come. And then Huyang kind of talked her down from that and she accepted it. She's like, okay, yeah. And I think she's going to understand that.
He was reeling her in.
Yeah. That's what he was doing. She's the most important thing there, guys, that Ahsoka did is she listened to Huyang.
Yes.
Yeah, so, as we have said.
So the Jedi should have embraced Anakin's style more. That's what makes Ahsoka so powerful.
Yes. Prior to him becoming Darth Vader. Yes.
Yes. Fair point.
Yeah.
Think about what would have changed.
That's why her story mirrors his.
Yeah.
Because she learned from that and she just went the right way with it.
Yeah.
I love this. In the short story compilation, Stories of Jedi and Sith, there's the story of Yoda accepting a non-force using child into the order who's not named. And when the child asks why Yoda, then explains that one of the greatest Jedi scholars was Wayseeker Lear, who is also not able to manipulate the Force. Jedi, Yoda was pretty wise at making these decisions, though.
Did he make the Wayseeker on how to find Exegol? Is that why his name's Wayseeker?
Wayfinder?
What is this is Exegol? Wayfinder to find it? I don't. What is that even from?
I don't even know.
I have no idea.
Those didn't really happen. I thought. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Dave's talking crazy talk.
Yeah.
You know what? I read it on a piece of toilet paper. It's a Star Wars fact of the day. And this is not canon. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you needed to use that for another purpose.
Yeah. Attack on Show wants to know, will Thrawn be ready for Snoke, though?
Oh, yeah. Thrawn's ready for everything.
Yeah. Well,
he might not be when he first sees him.
I think that this whole time period is going to be about Thrawn and dealing with that threat. This is one of the reasons why the fleet and everything for the Republic gets dwindled and everything else. There's going to be a huge war, and it's going to end to where, they win, but the Republic is very weakened, and then the New Order can swoop in and gain power and influence in the Republic. And we're led into some movies that we don't talk about here.
We don't.
But we talk about a lot.
Yeah, if they did a 10 through 12 with Thrawn, that'd be just amazing. I think he's just as good a villain as Palpatine, or a good guy, Palps.
I think better.
Yeah, I didn't want to step that far, but he's amazing. No, he's amazing as a Star Wars villain.
And I feel like they are setting this character up to be not just your standard villain. Like, he's going to have real
Not your status quo?
motivations, real understand. Yeah, not your status quo with Thrawn at all. And so I can kind of see them leaning into what they did with the books, and I really hope that I'm right about that, because I do want to see some better motivations for why he's doing the things that he's doing. You know,
Same,
and he
yeah.
understands that like everybody will view him as a villain, but his motives are clear for why, and it's logical in his mind, and it might make sense to us as an audience.
Oh, I love that Attack on show right there. Somehow Thrawn is returned.
Oh God! Oh please! Yeah. And somehow a character named Poe is the one to
Yeah, he'll be
give
the
the
one.
line.
Oh, if they
Pops out. In
if they utter that line somewhere like Huyang, he's got to say it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, but guess what? No, there's an answer for that. Sabine is that
Sabine.
somehow.
Right, Sierra, your favorite character.
I like Sabine.
I just can't wait for Sierra to see Sabine's redemption arc, find out that it was the right decision overall, and her just, writing an open letter of her deep love of Sabine.
Sabine is thinking big picture here. Because if Thrawn comes back without Ezra, then that's going to be a lot more trouble than if he does, come back.
It's going to be a heck of a writing challenge for Dave Filoni to turn Sierra around. Wouldn't that be something? By the end of this season, having Sierra say, "Wait, I was totally wrong. Sabine is amazing." I'm going to say that right now. We'll predict that right now. It's going to happen.
Sierra, let me just tell you this. If you think the Scarlet Witch is redeemable, then Sabine is nowhere near that bad.
Is she? Is she though? Is the Scarlet Witch redeemable now after what they did to her?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Which is so sad from WandaVision. It's just like they set this character up, and you felt so much for her, and just to trash the character in Doctor Strange, that's almost unforgivable to me.
And you think about it, the whole time during WandaVision, it's like she's not doing this. It's someone manipulating her. It's Mephisto. Or it's Nightmare. It's somebody else doing it. And then you find out that it's her. And her alone, you're like,
I'm caged.
Yeah.
That's why like I always cringe at the line whenever if I ever go back and I rewatch it and I hear Agatha, or no, not Agatha, I'm sorry, and I hear what's her name, Photon. What is she going by?
Oh, Photon? I think
Photon.
I think you're right.
Right.
Whenever I hear they'll never know what you gave up, it's like,
Oh
bro,
God!
you had these people literally enslaved in a TV world for like
hey,
I know, right?
no.
you guys, she was basically talking to Magic Hitler there. Of course she's going to say
Magic
something like that
Hitler.
because she didn't want the Scarlet Witch to just destroy her on the spot. She's like, oh, if people only knew what you went through, please don't murder me. Please don't murder me. She's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, but that same. She could have she should have just said nothing. All right, have a good one. I'm out of here.
All right. You should ask Nightsith why he agrees with me about Sabine. All right.
All right, why do you agree?
All right.
I did say this earlier. I said that there's some things that Sabine has done that made my eye twitch. Like,
The eye twitch.
Ooh.
What did she do?
Okay. Just again, like she said, you gotta look at the bigger picture. It's like, okay. I understand why she did it. I understand why she went for Ezra. She's like, this is my friend. I gotta go save him. I gotta find him. I want to make sure he's alive. But at what stage, what are you willing to put at risk for that one thing? It's like, okay, it's like the age-old question. If there was a railroad track and there's 10 people tied to the track and a train's coming, or there's one person, what would you do? Would you hit the track for the one friend or save the 10 people?
I'd derail the train.
Yeah.
Derail the train.
Yeah,
That's
Sabine would kill all 10 of those people for Ezra.
Yes, she would.
So, yeah.
It is very Star Trek. The needs of the many outweigh the needs
Outweigh
of the
the
few.
needs of the few.
And
Spock.
you should have put, Ahsoka tried to explain it to her early on. You may have to make a tough decision. saving Ezra is not worth bringing
Oh,
Thrawn back
Attack
to
on
this
Show.
galaxy.
I don't know
Oh,
if I should
geez.
put that on the screen.
I don't think so. Not safe.
Not family friendly.
Family show. Attack on
we know
Show.
it's true,
Family.
but
Family show. Yeah.
Sabine, that's
I-
funny.
I do want to put this. I do want
No,
to.
that's her brother, man.
Oh,
looks
I
at him like
know,
a brother.
right?
Oh,
Makes
God,
it
that
even
makes it
worse.
worse.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
God,
that's
made
in
it
line
worse,
with Star
Dave.
Wars, though.
But this is from You've Got Caleb. And he says,
take.
Hot take. I didn't hate the sequels. While I do feel they could have been better, I do not believe they were lore or canon breaking in any way. You can disagree with the story decisions, but they are canon. I really dislike the whole movement that a minority of fans are spouting off that the sequels should be retconned. Do
That's
you
not
know
the
what a
minority.
nightmare that would be for Disney? If you can retcon a saga film, then you can retcon anything and nothing matters anymore. And you know what? Honestly, I do agree with that. And you know, while we do joke, I think all of us know that that's not going to happen. It's not going to be, Dave Filoni coming, swooping in, and world between worlding the sequels away. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
No, I
it
mean,
is
and
what
I-
it is. If
they're not
if
Yeah,
you
I've
think
said
about
that
it, like
before, too.
personally, and again, I know I said this the last time we streamed, but personally, not a huge fan of the prequels. I don't really like them all that much. I like bits and pieces of Revenge of the Sith. Really don't like most of Attack of the Clones, except for maybe the Obi-Wan bits at Camino. I thought those were pretty cool. I really like
wait,
the
you
way
like
that shot.
Obi-Wan's bits?
I do like Obi-Wan's bits.
Who does?
I love
I
when he
know,
looks
right?
and says,
Let's
hello
just be
there.
honest here.
I
Um,
would.
but like almost all of Phantom Menace didn't really care for, say for like maybe the end.
Oh my god, that was
I've
terrible.
tried rewatching it. It is so hard to get through. It's not great. But
The
you know
only
what?
part
I'm
I
not
liked
against-
about the Phantom Menace was the Maul,
Yeah.
Qui-Gon.
that's
that's
about it. You know
That's
what?
the-
That
that's the
wasn't
main
pod-racing,
thing of the movie.
kid. Now,
That's
this
the
is
whole movie right there.
pod-racing.
Yeah, that's the whole movie.
hmm
Obviously,
And-
yeah, that was all right.
And I
But
do
the
agree
thing
with
of-
Attack on Show, though. The sequels are terrible, but they are
Mhm.
canon, and I'm not on board with changing them or retconning them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are what we got. I really haven't felt the need to go back to them at all. But that's somebody's cake. They like that piece of cake. That's not my cake. I have my cake
Yeah.
with Dave Filoni, and I am loving the cake I'm
Well,
getting from
yes. Oh,
Dave.
yeah.
And just to kind of talk about it, I don't think Dave Filoni, just like Doug said, Dave Filoni's not going to retcon the sequels in any way.
Uh-huh.
But what he's going
No.
to do is what he did with the Clone Wars a little bit, and especially
Yep.
that final season with the Siege of Mandalore and other things that happened. That
Mhm.
made me enjoy Revenge of the Sith that much more. He's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
do
Yeah,
things
same.
that are going to make the sequels a little more tolerable or almost tolerable, maybe. They're not going to retcon them. They're not going to do some weird, crazy time travel stuff to wipe them out. But they're just going to kind of push them under the rug and be like, they happened. We just don't talk about that era that much.
Yeah, when
I
they made the Clone
think-
Wars, it made the prequels so much better.
It
Made
did.
it so I could go back and watch them and say, "Oh, this is happening at the same
Mhm.
time as the
Yeah.
show,"
Yes.
and it makes so
Yes.
much more sense. It adds so much more
Mhm.
depth, and that's exactly
And-
what he's doing with these two shows.
That's not
here.
what Resistance was, though.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God. Please don't bring up Resistance. Damn you, Doug.
And
Wonder Woman
Hayden
84,
Christensen's
go ahead, Doug.
performance in part 5 is so much better because of the Clone Wars and everything. And he watched all that stuff too. And so
Yeah.
there's so much more depth with his character from the last episode that we saw in Ahsoka because of all that Dave Filoni did as well. And so I feel like it gave him so much justice and so much more character to work with this time around for Anakin Skywalker, which was perfect.
I agree with all that. Yeah. So we have talked about not so much the idea of that, that Disney should retcon or that they should change. We know that that's not going to happen,
No,
anything in the sequels. But Dave, Keith, and I, we have talked about, we did a series a while ago with Batman v Superman. We called it Back to the Editing Room. And we treated it sort
Yeah,
of like a story writing exercise, right? So we thought about, okay,
What
if we were to alter a few things, pretty much keep it the way that it is, but we alter a few elements just to fix some maybe oversights. Because the one thing about the sequels, and I'm not trying to, go ahead and light your torches, grab your pitchforks. George Lucas did not fully plan out the original trilogy. He did the prequels. He did not fully plan out the original trilogy.
Oh, no.
If he had, we wouldn't have gotten from a certain point of view, nor would we probably have had Luke and Leia kissing.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear
and she
because...
was the aggressor both times. It was all her.
But we did think about potentially doing a Back to the Editing Room with one or maybe a few of the sequel trilogy movies, just kind of doing it as a bit of an exercise. And what little things could we alter without completely changing the entire movies? But what things could we do that would make it a little bit better? Because I think one of the biggest glaring mistakes that they made was with Finn. I think they really did his character wrong, and they had a lot of potential there. You introduced to us to a stormtrooper who went rogue, and the thing that I think was the worst character flaw with him that they did was in that battle outside that bar or whatever.
In Canto
Blight.
No, not Canto Blight. In the first one.
In Maz Kanata's...
When he starts going woo as he's killing stormtroopers. And I mentioned this during season 2 of The Mandalorian that I felt that Space Boston dudes, I thought that his arc as a former, technically not a stormtrooper, but as a former Imperial, I thought he handled it better.
Imperial sharpshooter.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I agree. He would have had sympathy for those people because, I mean, they weren't just people who signed up per se. They were forced into... Oh, we just had a little video hitting there. He was forced into...
Go down below.
He was forced into it, so he would not be killing Stormtrooper and being like, yeah, we got him. He'd be like, oh.
Yeah. That was a drastic switch from being bloody and watching your friend die on the battlefield to just mowing down the other stormtroopers.
I think they just wanted a Yahoo moment,
Yeah.
And then it wasn't earned. And so when that's different, when Han Solo is flying over the Death Star and he says, Yahoo! Because it came out of nowhere, everybody in the crowd feels it. They're like, yeah! But that one wasn't earned.
Yeah, for sure. And like John Boyega, it's so sad to me because he is such a deep Star Wars fan, just like all of us. And yeah, they did him very wrong. And now he's never going to come back to Star Wars. And we're not going to get to see an amazing performance from him. He is an incredible actor. And if you see him in anything else, I hope it's not true too, but I doubt he's coming back. I don't see him.
I think if they came to him,
do it 3 times in a row. So
I think if they came to him with a good script and said, listen, this is what we want you to do. This is going to be your character arc. We think your character has a lot of potential and we want to do these things. I think he might do it. But once again,
I hope you're right.
It's going to be a very tough sale because they did him dirty.
Character. Yeah, they do. That was,
Here's what we're going to do.
They had so much they could have done with him.
We're going to have you running on the top of a Star Destroyer in the...
Screaming Rey?
In the planet's atmosphere. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
No.
Am I wearing a helmet? Do I have a breathing apparatus? No.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I think Filoni should do a 3rd and final season for the Resistance TV show. Season 3 being the year between episode 8 and 9.
Bring it back.
And they eat it. I mean, if he wrote it, maybe. I could not finish the first season of that show. Because I am a big Rebels fan. I really enjoyed Rebels. When it came out, I was a little like, my first instinct when I saw, I'm like, okay, look, they got a young Jedi, or they got a Jedi, they got a Twi'lek, they got a Mandalorian, they got Zeb, some crazy alien.
All the favorite toys.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, this seems a little forced, but they did such an amazing job of, having character arcs for every one of them and getting to know them and actually loving those characters. I was hoping Resistance would do the same. And I was so annoyed by every character on that show. I'm like, I can't do this to myself anymore. I cannot watch another episode or I will, lose my hair.
Such a missed opportunity too.
You must have watched a lot of them, Keith.
Yeah, you did. Oh man. And
hey,
like
we
could have gotten
I got nothing to say.
And it looks good there, Dave. So, and it's such a missed opportunity because I would kill for a Clone Wars style show right after Return of the Jedi with Han, Luke, and Leia. And like, give me that. I want that. Like, that would be a perfect way to do it rather than a Resistance show. So that's what I would have rather seen.
I have always wanted to see Luke as the badass that he was in the books.
Always. And we got that
And
at
we
the
got-
end of Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
You beat me to it.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, and that's all we've gotten of it. I wish we had more.
And we
What do you
still
guys
might,
want?
because think about it. We know this movie is coming.
Yeah.
Grogu. We know this movie is coming up. There could be a very good possibility that we get Ezra, Ahsoka, Luke, Din Djarin, Din Grogu, Boba Fett, and anyone else actually kind of teaming up to kind of put a stop to this. We could see in his prime Luke Skywalker, maybe played by someone other than Mark Hamill. Not that
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, somebody. Mark
Anything.
Hamill has said, I'm fine with it being recast because I love the character and he's too old to play him.
Yeah.
We could get that.
Weird thing
Dave
about Star
Filoni
Wars.
could bring that to us in a Star Wars movie, and we will all just be collectively losing
I'm
our
there
stuff.
for that. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure.
Now you see how that in that picture how it's Sabine is flipping over. That's to show that they're changing perspective.
Good job,
Right.
Dave.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, they had their Yahoo level moment with Poe
They
coming
did.
in with his X-wing, and they didn't use it. Yeah,
Mhm.
they did a major disservice to Filoni by just slapping his name on that show. Like they wanted
Yep.
the prestige of having a show created by Dave Filoni, but not the cost of actually having him write for the show. Yeah, agree.
Yeah. Yep.
I hope
Yeah.
they learn their lesson, and that's why we're getting him writing and directing a lot of Ahsoka, because there are
That's what he's doing.
not everyone can write Star Wars like Dave Filoni does. It's
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, they kind of did the
Obviously,
same
not
thing
even
for.
John Favreau can. If
No,
you look at the last
yeah.
season of The Mandalorian, that was all Favreau.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know
But
if Drax
there-
is still on, but this is what I was going for.
That's cool.
This is
I
why
like
I
that.
arranged Dave's picture the way that I did.
That
I don't
kind
think
of like reminds me of your earlier episodes when you guys were in that
Studio?
conference room with all the with the studio with all the boxes in the background. Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, that was
That's perfect.
so. That room was also used to send care packages to troops. That's what all those
yeah,
boxes were.
yeah. I remember you telling me that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
it was really weird. We tried to send some to Grand Admiral Thrawn, but he said, "Yeah, my troops don't need this stuff anymore."
Yeah.
Got all the whale blubber we need.
I have less than I had before.
And as zombies, they basically eat 0 calories now. It's wonderful.
Do you got any gold masks? I just need one.
I just need one for my leader guy.
Just one, yeah. Gonna replace the stormtrooper part and make it an actual face.
See, now you got
By
me
the way-
watching the video, Doug.
I know.
Yeah.
We're all sitting there.
But
Oh,
one of
sorry.
the
So
one of
good.
the little, I don't want to call it a trailer trick, but one of the little filming tricks that they did in this, when Sabine was in her little cell and she's like, I'm going to use the Force. And then
Oh,
all of a
yeah.
sudden things start
Once
rocking.
again.
You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, is she? And then it's just the incredible entrance
I
of
knew.
Grand Admiral Thrawn's
Right here.
Chimera there. Yep, right there.
I knew you
And I
guys
was
were
like-
going to bring this up because it reminded me of our discussion with
Yeah.
did she use the Force against Shin Hati, or was that just a reaction because Shin thought
get the
she
hump.
was going to use the Force? I'm still convinced that in both of these instances, she did not use the Force. I don't
Yeah.
think she actually can
Agree.
use it that way.
Agree. Yep. And you pointed out astutely that we do get a little bit of a force hum whenever somebody is using the force like that. And it happens all the time. And yeah, that was just the ship.
See, right there,
thought at first.
Filoni did more development on Sabine's development into a Jedi than they did for Rey.
Right, Sierra? Come on, you gotta give us that. Am I
You
still
gotta give us
caged?
that, Sarah.
Am I still caged over here though? It's
No,
like, I get out
You
of
know-
the
we
cage.
broke you out.
She's
Oh,
still
good.
Two-
caged.
Sierra doesn't know, but we have the key to the
Grazie.
cage.
Grazie.
Now, to support Sierra, I'm going to quote Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Oh no.
Oh,
How
boy.
that singular focus will reshape our galaxy.
Beautiful line. Beautiful line from Mithron Yoroto.
So he agrees with you, Sierra. Sabine made a terrible mistake, and it's going to cost our galaxy dearly. Now,
She did.
how do you think it is going to cost our galaxy? Do you think he's going to take that war to Coruscant? Do you think, how is this
Yeah,
going
the
to play
star
out
map
when
up.
he gets back to our galaxy?
Yeah. I was kind of wondering about the star map and what they were looking at there with Morgan Elsbeth right there. And they were plotting basically what they were going to do. And I wonder if those are all the underground cells for the Imperial Remnant that they were trying to figure out where they were so that they can coordinate some sort of attack. What do
Like
you
we
guys
saw in the Shadow Council from the Mandalorian?
think? Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
I'd
but
like another look at that map to see exactly what's on there.
Yeah.
Because that is the Star Wars galaxy right there.
Yeah.
That they were looking
And
at.
if the great mothers were able to communicate with Morgan Elsbeth, they could be communicating with some of these leaders. And if it's
I
like
think so.
we're about
Yeah.
to, we got 3 rotations to load up all this stuff, whatever in those things, plenty of time to let them know, hey, we're coming back. This is where our coordinates are going to be, and there could be an army waiting for them when he gets back.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think Thrawn would be able to pull something like that off.
And you know what? He's been gone for, like we were discussing, 12 years or so. Why is he wearing the same clothes, man?
I wasn't expecting him to still have his uniform, but at the same time, he is a Grand Admiral, and
He is.
he probably will never leave that military mindset.
Mhm.
I still keep my uniforms, the ones that I have left. I still have my dress uniform hanging up
Yeah,
on a nice
me too.
hanger in a bag. I'm never going to wear it, but I'm going to keep
But
it.
he does. He does wear it.
Well, he's ready to go home. Maybe he wasn't wearing it the whole time.
Good point, Doug. Absolutely.
He's probably walking
I
around
just needed
naked.
a drink. I just needed a drink, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe this entire time he's just been, wearing his sweatpants and his t-shirt.
I want to see that.
Loincloth.
I want to see Thrawn in sweatpants.
The real Purrgil Master. That's what his shirt says.
I love it.
And he's like, wait a minute, someone's going to be here?
Yeah. A little,
Little-
whale blubber stain on the down the side.
Little rock snails. Can I see some of your art? Eh? Rock art?
Keith, I
Can't
can't
defeat-
see you. Caleb's huge comment is in the way.
You know what?
And
That's
Paul,
for the
you're gone
betterment-
too. Hello. There he is.
There he is. Oh, we got some Jedis. We got Sabine going nuts down there.
I did like that. I appreciated the fact that they showed that she is competent with a lightsaber. She's been practicing with Huyang. I
And she-
appreciated that. That
She's
was
better
good.
with the lightsaber than she was with the blasters as a Mandalorian, for God's sake. So, yeah, it does show some competency in there.
But going back to You've Got Caleb's comment, we didn't really touch on it.
Pull it up.
He says, I also think it would be great to have a new animated show after Bad Batch ends, like to have
Yeah.
the new Rey movie set up a Star Wars New Jedi Order animated series. That would be great. I'd love to see that. That's on the level
Same.
of Clone Wars and runs for a long time. That could be a great way to redeem the sequels. I also want a Star Wars Jedi of the High Republic. I think we all do.
Yep.
And that could probably wait because we have such a great setup for an animated show in the Rey movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
no, there's a lot of
Hierarchy.
potential. There's so much you can do with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much easier to make an animated show last a full season than get,
Mhm.
live action
Mhm.
movies and shows.
Yeah.
And they've shown that they are willing to do a lot of great things in an animated show to set up things in
Mhm.
live action. So
You can do
I'm all for it.
too.
And I've been reading the High Republic comics on
Mhm.
Marvel Unlimited. They're really good. They do a lot of
Mhm.
things with different fractions of the Jedi and other Force users, and you know new aliens, new monsters, the Nigel, which are like the bandits who ride these hyper space. What is the word I'm looking for? Like hyperspace trails that no one else knows about,
Oh, okay.
and they
okay.
actually. And in the Star Wars comics, because in the Marvel comics right now, the actual Star Wars comic, they're all in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi right now. And Luke and a
Good
couple
time.
other people actually find this no space that used to be used by the Nigel. And it's pretty good read. And it's interesting. And they could really do a lot with the High Republic era because we have no expectations. They have no
Mhm.
Yeah.
things that, when we're
This
writing
is gonna
Ahsoka, we can't kill,
Mhm.
Luke off or something because we know he dies later
True.
on. We know some of the future,
So
whereas
much
the High
story.
Republic is open book. They could
Mhm.
really do something really interesting with that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm just not excited at all about the Acolyte.
Not at all.
No.
I'm excited to see a Jedi Wookiee again. So like they've got my number.
Yeah, I would love to see that
for
too.
that. So
Now,
everything
for
else.
me-
yeah.
The premise of the show sounds pretty interesting. It is a Sith-centric show.
Mhm.
So
And
that
I
could be
think
very
it's-
interesting.
I think so too, and I think it's going to elevate the idea that the Jedi have lost their way over time, and it's going to show sympathy for this Sith character as well. So it'll be interesting to watch. I have no stakes in it whatsoever, though, too. So we're eating so good right now with Star Wars. It's like, okay, yeah, you can give me that. I'll see if I like it. But if I don't, I've got this other stuff. I got Ahsoka. I've got The Mandalorian. I'm good.
Hopefully, Skeleton Crew. We got
Andor,
another season of the Bad
season
Batch,
2.
another season of Andor. Yeah, there's a lot that we got
Stuff's
coming.
It's
Yeah,
too
so
bad Andor's only
Skeleton
gonna be
Crew,
15.
I'm kind of iffy about. I don't know if I'm gonna like that. The
Yeah.
premise sounds like it might be okay, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe it'll turn out to be like another Andor situation. Maybe I'm just like, I don't think
Yeah.
it sounds good, and then it's going to turn out to be friggin'
One
amazing.
of the best. Yeah.
I
Okay,
always
let's
laugh
hope.
about.
So
You know
it's
how
gonna be
that
a
series
reverse
came
personal
about?
investigation.
That series came about because Favreau was on set of Spider-Man No Way Home. Is that what it's called?
The last one?
Yeah, the last one. Was
Yeah,
it No Way Home?
No Way Home,
Okay,
yeah,
wow, that sounded wrong coming out of my mouth. For a second.
Yeah, it was
Hold on.
Homecoming, Far From Home, and then No Way Home. Yeah.
Yeah, someone dial 9-1, and if I pass out, dial the other one. But they were, Favreau was on set filming some scenes, and the director John Watts came up to him and he said, "I got an idea for a Star Wars show. Is this good or is this crazy?" And Favreau was like, "Actually, I think that's pretty great. Let's talk to Filoni." And Watts and Filoni talked, and they ended up talking Kathleen Kennedy into making it because they enjoyed, his premise of it. But once again, you can have a good premise, and if the writing and everything else don't follow suit, it's not going to be good. But I think with those two on board saying, "Hey, that's interesting. We can do some things with it."
Mm-hmm.
I got pretty high hopes for Skeleton Crew. I liked John Watts, all of his Spider-Man movies. I thought he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, with getting, I can't think of the actor's name now, but was in Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
Jude
Mr.
Law.
Yeah, Jude Law. Getting Jude Law on board with it, I think, makes me think, okay, I don't think he's going to sign up for something that, is probably has a bad script. He's probably going to read it and make sure it's okay. Now, once again, they still have to execute on that. But I think Skeleton Crew has a very good chance of being a very good Star Wars show.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
I mean, yeah,
Same.
obviously,
I'm just gonna be skeptical like Doug. I don't even I don't even see where it could go to make it interesting for me, but maybe that'll be what I need to make it a good show for me. When I see it, it'll not subvert, but cross over all my expectations, and
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah, keeping your
No.
expectations low is an amazing thing. Like Doug said with Andor, it's like we went into that show just thinking, "What is this?" Do
Yeah.
we really need this?
Mm-hmm.
And just being blown away
Yep.
with the
Yep.
acting, the writing, the production.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we could get the same thing with Skeleton Crew, and I hope we do, because I want to continue to produce amazing content and talk to you guys about this stuff too. So
Oh yeah.
Oh
it
yeah.
would be great.
So you've got Kayla says, "Oh my God, I wonder if the main Star Wars comics would ever cover in between
Yes.
episode 1 and 2. That's
Yes.
10 years of
Mm-hmm.
in-universe worth of content.
I want more exploration during this time too.
10
couldn't be
years of
any-
Anakin's life that we just don't know about.
Don't have. Yeah.
And yeah,
There's
yeah,
books.
that's so true.
Yeah. There's a couple books. Not a lot of them are good though. So
I would like to see
Yeah.
more development with Obi-Wan during that period than Anakin.
me too. I want to focus on Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I mean, the way the movies presented it, other than the real poor line delivery of, "Yes, we are good friends, Anakin, aren't we?" Yes,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan,
Right.
we're such good friends. I love the things that we did when
Like-
those adventures. You remember? Yes.
Yeah.
Like in
The
Attack of the
adventure.
Clones when he first questions Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan reacts like, "What?" I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
"Oh, what? You can't be shocked by this point." That is
You will
nothing
learn
new.
your place, young one. We shall do as the council instructed. He's like,
no.
sit back down, you boop. That's what Obi-Wan should have really done.
I'm sorry, may I have another?
Swift kick to the ass. Settled that.
You know, one of the things too I wanted to bring up on this, because I found it interesting when I was rewatching this show. Thrawn was very much under the impression that all Balin promised Sabine was that she could find her friend.
Find her. Yep,
He promised her no harm would come to her.
Yeah.
he did.
So
did
he
the whole
said,
time?
I took it as that. I think he is going out there to maybe protect Sabine. He brought her here for a reason. She could be the key to unlocking whatever it is that he think is going to end the beginning, or, you know, get to the beginning and crash it all down. So I don't think he's going to kill her. I think he's going to recruit her and say,
Do you-
okay,
Do
I
you
know
think
this
he'll
is,
kill Ezra, though.
I think he'll try.
She won't let him. Sabine will not let him.
Oh no, no way.
Oh, what if that's what kickstarts her
Turn
divorce?
to the dark side. Yeah,
What if
easy
well,
path.
who was it? Somebody said earlier that she's very emotionally driven.
She
I
is.
think that might have
She's
been
an
Attack on
Mandalorian.
Ship. Somebody said that in the
I
chat.
think it was Sierra.
I think it was
Sierra?
Sierra said that.
Yeah. Well, Sierra knows Sabine Wren the best. You know, it's her favorite character. So,
She loves her.
right?
I don't think
She's got,
Shin would
like-
like that too much. Shin would
She's
not
got-
like Shin would not like him recruiting. Sabine.
No.
She's
Yeah,
got,
I mean,
he's got-
that's
Mind.
her.
I think
just
we
want
should all
people
chip in and buy Sierra some Sabine
We need
Wren
to.
like pillowcases and
Oh, yeah.
some things.
A full bedroom set of all Sabine Wren stuff. Get her the helmet, the whole nine.
Buy her
Yeah.
some
We can have-
action
what's it-
figure.
Who plays her? What's her name?
Absolutely.
Oh, he's doing
It's
absolutely.
Yeah,
You get an
Natasha Lou
absolutely, guys.
Bordizzo.
What was that again? Chris?
Natasha Lou Bordizzo.
Goes on tight. All right, we'll send her
Sorry.
over to see Sierra for with all these Sabine gifts. Here you go. Here's a Sabine doll. Actually, send her over here. I'd like to talk to her.
Give her a
Bad,
Sabine
Dave.
character.
Bad. You're caged.
Boom.
Okay. Can we talk about Balin being at Order 66 too?
hmm
Because
can.
I want to see that story.
Yeah.
I want
I
to
still
see
think
how he
he-
escaped.
I still think he's stretching the truth about that one.
You think?
I do.
I don't know. He seems pretty sincere to me. Like, when
I
he's
Yeah, that's-
still
recollecting.
think that he left the Jedi Order before that. He may have watched the temple
Hmm.
burn like from a distance, but I don't know. I feel like he comes off to me as someone who left the Order before the
Hmm.
purge. But
See,
I'll do what I think.
I thought you were right prior to this episode, but the way
I
he
did
was
too.
talking to Shin about it, I now believe that he was there, and that
Yeah.
had a huge impact on what he is trying to do now.
Okay.
Yeah. It feels like he has some PTSD over that whole thing. Like he is like he's still dealing with all that trauma in his life. He's like, ugh, you know. It's like I remember seeing the smoke and everything. So, yeah, yeah, and I was fully on board with your theory too, Doug, before this episode. But man, after this, I'm pretty convinced he was an Order 66 survivor. At least that's how it comes across to me. Maybe he's just really good at deceiving us all. Oof, that's how good Balin Skull is.
He just seems
He doesn't
so
see- yeah,
sad.
You're right. He doesn't
about
seem
it.
like
He's very sad, melancholy about it.
yeah. He doesn't seem like a liar though. He seems like he's not going to waste his breath if he's not going to tell
Man
the
of
truth.
honor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could buy that. So we got another chat from You've Got Caleb.
Oh, I'm gone again. Here, I'm going to put
Yep,
my
you
eyes
are.
in the corner.
Bye, Keith. Bye, Paul. We miss
Random
ya.
thought experiment. I love the Phantom Menace, but if George had planned out the prequels with Clone Wars integrated in the main story,
Oh, that would have been great.
that would have been great. It would have made Anakin make a lot more sense. Episode 1 should start with the story from Attack of the Clones and Anakin and Obi-Wan in the elevator, and ended with Ahsoka getting assigned to Anakin. Then episode 2 could have been a mix of several Clone Wars episodes, and ended with Ahsoka leaving the Order. Then Revenge of the Sith would have been the same. Yeah, if they would have integrated a lot of the stuff from Clone Wars, it would have made the character development make a lot more sense. I actually had a similar discussion with
There he is.
Keith and Dave about this stuff, because I did go back and watch the prequels. I don't remember why. Some reason, I don't know. Maybe it was during like the last season of Clone Wars or something. But I went back and I watched them, and all of a sudden it occurred to me that the way that they wrote the way that George wrote Anakin's character in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, at that point in time, he did not intend for there to be any sort of books, any sort of in-between filler material, anything like that. He was literally setting up in Attack of the Clones. This is where the fall starts. This is where he begins to turn to the dark side, and he's only going to get worse from here. And so, yeah, he's whiny and he's angry, and he just did a genocide, little one, tiny little
Little
genocide.
The women and children,
women.
too.
Children.
And by the
But,
way,
you know,
You've Got Caleb.
yeah.
That sounds like a great back to the editing room.
It
That
does.
does.
Right there.
for you guys, yeah.
I think one of
He
the
gave you all
biggest
the
flaws with Anakin was having him so young in The Phantom Menace.
Yep. Yeah.
I think they would have introduced him as like a preteen at the very least, because I mean, just the idea that, oh, hey, nice background, Dave.
Dave's
the
been
ve-
bricked.
The very idea that they had
You're not right.
that they're gonna set up this love thing between little baby Anakin and clearly young adult Padme. Just
Yeah.
don't like that.
Stop that.
That's not
Because-
cool.
Yeah. Because you're right. Like, he was originally written to be basically a teenager in that story, and then they decided to write down for a younger character. Because they wanted to show, like, I think George expressed that he wanted to show the innocence of a child and how innocent he really was to begin with. But I don't think that played very well. I wish they would have stuck to the original story.
I don't know if I've told you guys this story, but I went to see The Phantom Menace opening night at midnight, like that Thursday night. I took the Friday off work. Me and a couple of my buddies went out, had dinner, a couple drinks, and we got into the theater, and it started, and my one buddy fell asleep right next to me. And I woke him up at the credits, and he's like, oh, my God. I'm like, no, you made the right decision.
Yeah, don't sweat it, buddy. You got it right. You learned everything you needed to know.
Good choice.
You saw the opening crawl? That was it.
Yeah. But like we said on this, like, that whole ending, you know, with Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul, like, that was enough for me in that movie, especially the first time around watching. I was so high off of that scene that I loved that movie to begin with. I was all about it, you know. So when it first came out. And originally, I had thought, for the longest time too, I was like, why did they have to take away Obi-Wan's character arc and give it to Qui-Gon Jinn? But I've since come around on that, and I like the idea of Qui-Gon Jinn now, and it makes a lot more sense after hearing Dave Filoni actually bring up the fact that, it was Qui-Gon Jinn who could have saved Anakin, and the whole reason things play off the way that they do is because he dies, and he wasn't trained by the one Jedi that could have kept him on track. The one that was a rogue from the Jedi Council that knew who he was, that could be the father figure that he needed in his life to keep him on the light side. And so, yeah, it all makes sense after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I still am not going to watch Phantom Menace again unless it lasts like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, come. We
Okay,
can
no
have a watch
problem.
party. We'll watch it together.
I do revisit the prequels like once a year. I go back every once in a while, and I watch Clone Wars, the animated series, once in a while too. Not every year, but when I do that, I do like to revisit the prequels too.
You ever try and watch them in the order that they probably happened? Like you had to watch the Phantom Menace, then you watch Clone Wars, and then you stop somewhere in the middle of Clone Wars, and then you turn on the TV show, The Clone Wars.
Oh, jeez.
See, this was happening at the same time, like in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, put this here.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Try to watch the last season of Clone Wars alongside Revenge of the Sith. So now you got to have two
gotta
TVs
stop
next to each other.
Yeah, I know. Start the Clone Wars anime show. Start. Okay.
How amazing would it be if we got that little snippet in the last episode of Ahsoka? How amazing would it be if they reshot those like last 2 episodes of Clone Wars in live action?
Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
give me more of that.
God.
Like
It
I
would
love
cost
seeing
so
that
much
in the
money,
last
but it'd be
episode.
so worth it.
So worth it. Like, give me all of that. Yeah.
Oh, gosh, bring back Ray Park to do Maul.
Yes.
Have
That would
him.
make
That'd be so cool.
those movies would be so much better because we always say on here, so many people will not watch the Clone Wars just because it's animated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you put it in live action and you combine it with that movie, the prequel trilogy makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
You could have even had a whole Duel of the Fates fight sequence be a scene in episode 3, and then when Qui-Gon gets stabbed, you have Anakin wake up from one of his nightmares. Oh, What do you think Qui-Gon thought? Like, because his Force Ghost is clearly hanging around. What do you think he thought when he found out that Maul was still alive?
It's like, ooh, Obi-Wan's
Wait a
gonna
minute.
love this.
I thought he was dead. How come I died?
He cut this guy in half. He fell off basically
Yes,
fell
I
off
was
a
just
cliff.
stabbed.
I got stabbed and I'm done. That's not fair.
Because the Sith are all about staying in the mortal world and attachment, and the Jedi are all
Master
about
Qui-Gon, I
letting
tried
go.
telling you. They hadn't invented the Bacta tank yet. Oh, man!
So the Sabine girl, she gets to live. She gets stabbed the same way. It's not fair.
Mhm.
leading to the theory that she is going to
she
turn to the
dabbles.
dark side.
Yeah, she dabbles in the dark. Yeah.
She kept herself alive.
I was born in the dark.
Mhm.
You
I
merely
was born in it, molded by it.
And now I just crave pasta.
He is the pasta maker now.
So, is that the latest season? I haven't seen the latest season.
Oh yeah, yeah. He
Oh,
goes
'cause I
away
saw
on a what do they call those spiritual journeys? What are they called?
Oh, spiritual walker.
And he comes
all
back
for
as the
all
pasta
for a
maker.
woman who doesn't even know who he
he's
is.
alive.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, explosion sky.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he's one of my favorite characters on that show too. I love Bane. Oh boy.
I mean, not that this is we're still talking Star Wars, but they definitely got to have a season 5 of that show.
Oh,
They
they
Let's
definitely
hope.
have to.
Well, if they're already
No.
doing spin-offs, then yeah, they probably will.
Mhm.
Kite Man, oh yeah, that looks so funny. Oh man,
It does.
Kite Man, hell yeah.
hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, it is 10:30.
one more little topic about this episode too. When
Okay.
Balin is talking to Shin, and he's like, you know, that power is fleeting, talking about teaming up with Thrawn, and he says, "I want to bring this cycle to an end."
Yes.
Do you think he is talking about getting access to the world between worlds and possibly breaking the cycle that way somehow?
Interfering? Where they're not
Yeah,
supposed to
interfering. Either stopping, you know, Order 66 or doing something else. And he needed to get to this galaxy. The reason he was willing to team up with Morgan, he could care less about Thrawn and that other galaxy. He doesn't care about that. He needed Ezra to get into the world between worlds.
What if he's trying to get to Mortis?
That's
That's
another
where-
definite possibility.
The
Yeah.
balance
Force
of the
Riggle?
Force lies. Yeah. If you want to take things out of that cycle of the light and the dark, maybe he'll find the brother or something like that. I don't know. I kind of want to just have him back in the show. But, yeah.
Gotta find the Bendu.
Something. Yeah, you know, and before this season came out, they were talking about the great beyond is what we would see, and this place of magic and whatnot. So maybe we still haven't seen what this great beyond is. Maybe it's like a world between worlds type of situation that is there. Something is calling to Balin, and he's like, "Don't you feel it? It's here. We're calling it," and it's scaring away these Nightsisters, like these extremely
To the point where they want to
evil
leave.
creatures that want to flee. It's like all these other people want to flee, whatever this is. So it's something powerful, and yeah, it's something Force derived that you know, a Jedi or a Dark Jedi would want to get their hands on. Maybe the staff that Ahsoka is carrying.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
did you see what I put on Twitter? Little joke about that.
No. What did you put?
No.
So somebody had basically had asked what is Balin hearing? What voice is he hearing? And I said, he's hearing Palpatine. He's all the voices you've ever heard in your head,
God.
and somehow he'll return.
Somehow. Do you hear
Wait, I don't-
him? Oh,
I don't
that
remember that
would- no,
quote.
thank you.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yeah, no. You know, I'm trying to think. What movie was that in? Man.
What movie were we talking about for a majority
Guys.
of this episode? Not just status
Palpatine
quo.
died in Return of the Jedi. I don't know what you guys are talking.
You know what? You're right.
Did. You can't dispute that he did die.
He died. He
in
was
Return of the
vaporized.
Jedi. He was vaporized. These are the facts. And there you
And
go.
they're indisputable.
It's true. Just the facts.
It was
man.
all a
the facts.
fever dream of Rey. Oh, Palpatine returned. That's what happened. I saved you all. Thank you, our hero Rey. You did it.
She wakes up and starts scrubbing the parts again and making her little insta meal. She makes, it's like, whew, that was a weird
And
one.
Joku, that's the planet, right?
Jakku.
Jakku.
Yeah.
Jakku.
Jakku.
Of that movie that we are not supposed to talk about or even know exists.
I think the
What
one
am I
thing
talking about?
The one
know,
thing
honestly-
that made me so mad at that movie was how she just said, "I'm Rey Skywalker." I was like, "No, you're not.
No.
You can't just do that."
Yeah. You're Ray Palpatine, lady. You're Ray
Yeah.
Palpatine.
Yeah,
Own
you-
it.
I
Use
like
and
it
still
better
fear.
in that's one of the things that I know Dave hates this, but this is one of the things that I loved about The Last Jedi. I like that she was a nobody. That was fine.
too.
That was an okay background. You don't
Yeah,
have
that's a
to
good
have
way
a
to go.
magic grandpa. You can
Right.
just
Not-
be a nobody.
But that's not why I didn't like it. I didn't like it
I
because
know.
they built it up so much. They made such a big deal out of it, and then they just dropped you off a cliff and said, "Nah,
Yeah.
it's nothing. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Like,
I think the problem there is just because they didn't have consistent writing between those
Oh,
movies at all.
Absolutely.
And so that's
they
the
did not.
main problem is one director comes on board, writes it. Absolutely. And then the other director picks it up and does
Yeah.
a totally different thing.
There was
There's
no
no
plan.
cohesiveness, no plan. And that's where it comes into problem. A
Yeah.
lot of good elements sprinkled throughout that stuff. But it
Yes,
just didn't
there
come
were
together.
some good elements sprinkled.
Gotta have a plan.
But
Listen to Huyang.
I think we've entered into tangent time. Do we have any last thoughts on Ahsoka? Because I think it's starting to get about that time.
I do, and I hate to say it, I
Mhm.
do have some more
All right.
points because
Go ahead.
Do it.
watching again today, I
Mhm.
pay more attention to the dialogue when I watch it that second time because you know what's
me
coming.
too.
You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
as enthralled.
I watched it again
And-
today too.
I think it was Morgan who said it's going to take us about 3 rotations.
3
Yeah.
rotations.
You
I
get-
caught that too.
Heck, so they're going to be there for 3 more days. That
Mhm.
means we've got Ahsoka showing up on her purrgil, them trying
Mm-hmm.
to destroy it, them trying to purrgil it out of existence, and
The purrgiling.
yeah, we're going to see some major battles of some kind. We may see actually battles on 2 fronts. We may see Thrawn and the Great Mother. I keep calling them grandmothers. The Great Mothers
The
battling
grandmothers.
Ahsoka and fighting on that side, and then we may see Bane and Shin, fighting Sabine and Ezra, or Balin trying to recruit Ezra to take him to the world between worlds.
Yeah.
We have a lot of story left to tell
Mhm.
in the galaxy they're in.
And
So
and
we may
2
not even
episodes left.
we may not get back to the regular Star Wars galaxy this season.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
don't think we're going to. I think we may see, I forget who it was last night, Chris, that said he wants this season to end like
To be a
Empire Strikes
cliffhanger.
Back.
Yeah.
And if we see the end of it, Morgan and Thrawn taking off in the Eye of Sion
Mm-hmm.
and blasting back to the other galaxy, leaving everybody else there, that's an Empire Strikes Back kind of
Maybe-
ending that I can get behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we've actually seen the last scene in the trailer. Maybe that scene with Thrawn and his back on the Eye of Sion is the last scene in the series of them jetting off with the Chimera.
I could see that.
In
They could
credits.
totally do a cliffhanger.
Holy crap. That's what it is. That's going to happen. Oh, man. Yep.
And
There you
then
go.
one last point,
Mhm.
and I swear I'm done. I have no more notes after this.
Okay.
We saw all of the gold, all of the Chimera fixed up with all of this gold.
Yeah.
It's golden,
It's
Jerry. Gold.
Go,
I
Jerry.
think it's gold. Why do they call it Ovaltine? They should call it Roundtine.
Round
The
team.
cup's round, the lid's round, but
They should call it
I think
round
all
team.
of those. I think that is some sort of alloy that isn't present in the other universe or the other galaxy, I should say.
I think
And
so
I
Yeah,
think
too.
that's what's being packed up. It has
Good point.
it has some quality to
Mhm.
maybe negate the force. We talked last night that it might be the Yursamari or something, but
Yeah.
I don't think they still block the force when they're dead. And being packed in one of those boxes may not be best. I think that gold is something that can block the force because he knows if he's going back, there may be
Yeah.
Jedi around that he has to battle. He probably doesn't know who Luke Skywalker is because he went to this other galaxy prior to, all of this stuff that went down. But he probably understands. He may be facing Ezra, Ahsoka, Luke, Sabine,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs something to kind of counter their main advantage over him because he has the Great Mothers,
Yeah.
but I don't think he trusts them too much. He doesn't want anyone
Mhm.
like them. If the Night Troopers are them, basically zombifying a bunch of his old stormtroopers, he's
That's
probably
what I
not too
think.
happy with that
what I
because
think
that is
too.
out of his control. He basically owes them something, and he doesn't want to be in that position.
Yeah. The gold definitely plays some significance because we've been shown it time and time again in the series with the Eye of Sion, with their ship, with the Night Troopers, with their armor being infused with the gold and the Chimera. It's all over the place. So it does play some role. Either it's a force dampening situation or it's a magic amplifying situation too, where it amplifies the magic
That's
that they're
what I'm
using.
thinking.
Yeah, so it plays some sort of a role. We'll find out soon, hopefully.
Also,
Yes.
I thought, and I'm curious what you guys think about that. So I'm actually glad you brought this up, Keith. I thought that maybe this was a nod because I'm still convinced that they're reanimated corpses.
Same.
I thought it was a nod
Kind of like me.
ancient Egypt, the way that they would put gold all over the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
And I thought that this was like the stormtrooper suits are like a living sarcophagus.
Yeah.
But I
You're
could also be
probably
thinking too deep into it.
But the only
I
I
mean-
think the only one who had gold on it was Enoch. as the
Yeah.
leader of the
I
guard,
thought all
maybe
the
he
others
is
had,
the
like,
one.
sprinkled here and there.
Some of them have it like throughout,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
They also
So-
had red sprinkled in and some other
True.
things too.
yeah.
But it's probably going to either be some magic amplifying.
Mhm.
That would be crazy. And what if that's what Balin knows is there? That he can get a hold of this and amplify his powers, who's already seemingly pretty strong in the Force.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool.
Oh. I think we're on to something.
Only other thing that I had, and this is only because I like Rogue One. I like it. I
love
think it's a
Rogue
good
One.
movie. It has a few issues here and there, but take a look at what's on the video screen right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Rogue One came out, all the people that were freaking out and whining and throwing a hissy fit? Star
about the
Destroyers
Star Destroyer?
can't be in a planet's atmosphere.
Hmm.
You know it's going to be all over the internet again, right?
Will it be a problem this time?
You know, if it isn't the fact that women happen
shot
to
right there,
exist
too.
in the series, it's going to
Yeah.
be something dumb like this, probably.
It was worth it just for that shot right there with them
Such a
coming
good
down.
shot. I keep
Just
saying, like,
beautiful.
how many cinematic moments are in the series, and
Right.
oh my gosh, that was epic.
It was beautifully
I
done.
mean, it can operate within a planet's atmosphere. Look at Exegol. I mean, there was
Mhm.
thousands of those ships underwater.
What? Exo what? What is this?
Are you making up words again, Dave?
Was that
Exodus.
Return of the
I think
Jedi?
it was Exodus, and it was something completely different. You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay, got it.
I think you're talking about Endor, right? That's Endor with the Ewoks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Andor,
actually,
Andor.
speaking of that, there was what was it, Battlefront 2 or whatever? There was a game. Wait, what was the game where they did Operation Cinder?
That was
Battlefront
Battlefront 2.
I thought
Battlefront
so.
2.
They showed in that game, in some of the cinematic scenes, they showed Star Destroyers in the atmosphere of Endor.
Mhm.
In fact, one of them actually came crashing down onto Endor.
And Endor's a moon. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it's the
With
forest
Endor.
moon of Endor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Semantics
Oh, and by
here,
the way,
guys.
when I said that was my
Look at my
last
point.
comment, I lied.
One more?
One more.
I lied. I thought you would
This
kill
is-
me
this-
last.
When we see the bandits on the hill with the red
Mhm.
armor kind of standing over Balin and Shin, I got some Star Wars Vision vibes out of that.
Oh, yeah. Same.
I think we may get a little nothing. It's not going to be
Little
the
nod.
characters, but I like the little
Tip of the
nod
hat.
to that show. Yes,
I thought I noticed some pieces that looked like samurai armor almost.
They did. We commented about that in the watch party.
Oh,
Yeah, they
did you?
do very
Okay.
much look like samurai armor.
You know, where can I find that watch party video? I really should check it out.
Some sort of channel out there.
Yeah.
Dadderly
link on our-
fandom
on
or
our
something.
chat.
Something like that.
yeah. Let me hold on.
That's, it's in Arabic. I can't really read it.
And why is
Yeah,
it?
we should put that in the chat.
If fatherly fandom is going to be in Arabesh right there, why isn't that your status quo in
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't have a round one in Arabesh. I only made the Arabesh logo in the square, and it didn't
Oh,
fit.
Oh,
That's why.
Gotta get back to the.
I do. I got to go back to the
Studio.
Illustrator and redo it. Actually, what I would really like to do, what I want to try for next time, in our Instagram stories and everything, I have a little animated neon version of our sign, of our logo. I want to see if I can
Ooh.
add that in here. I don't know if StreamYard will like it or not. I'll have to find out. It may not play nice.
oh, Sabine.
Okay, I'm just posting that video
Yes,
into.
the chat.
Oh, both of you did. Oh, he's got his channel. Yeah. Okay. Check
Oh,
out
yeah.
Bodily
This-
Fandom's channel right there. Please. It's an amazing channel. So good. He's got so many amazing videos, especially during Ahsoka. My gosh, the theories are crazy. And you're hitting like almost all of them right on the head.
Oh yeah. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna
100%
do another
always
one.
correct.
Oh well, yeah.
No,
Some things.
Every single one. 100%
Every time.
correct.
Okay.
24/7.
Yeah. I'm going to go over
365 days a
magic
year.
on my next video, on Friday's video. I'm going to explain magic in the Star Wars universe and what that means and if it's related to the Force. So
All right.
check that out on Friday.
looking
It's going
forward
to
to
be a lot
that.
of fun. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Can't wait for that one.
And it can also hurt Superman.
It can.
Yes.
His
It can
magic
hurt
can.
Superman.
Just like Shazam. Because he's
Uh,
magic.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Should I try?
Sounds nice.
and-
Just like kryptonite, too.
Remember, Doug, do or do not. There is no try.
Well, I'm debating. Was that he
Do
mentioned
it.
Superman? Was that worthy enough to do a Somebody Save Me?
Oh no.
he did.
Somebody
Okay.
save- Well, if Tom Welling is going to be brought up, then we can.
All right, I'll say it. It was
Let's do
on
it.
season 8 of Smallville where they found
There you
out
go.
that he was affected by magic. There you go. Now you can-
We got it!
Just real short because
Oh,
YouTube doesn't like my version of the song.
damn it.
Demonetized. Yeah.
You hear that, Grogu?
Yeah.
Let your warm hands spread right through and just
I'm surprised to see
save
everybody comment on
me.
that.
I think I found the perfect version that I want to upload. Dave, you're gonna hate it. It is called Fatherly Fandom. I apologize for the bad language I'm about to use. It's a channel called Shitty Flute. It's literally
Oh, jeez.
terrible. Like you remember the recorders that they
Pan
used to make you play in
Yes.
grade school. It is somebody terribly playing a recorder over famous songs, and somebody
Oh,
did a copy of Somebody Save Me, and it's
Oh,
so bad and it's so hilarious.
bad. I've heard a lot of those. Yeah, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think my favorite one I heard was the Jurassic Park theme song.
Yeah, that one's all over the place.
Have you guys heard? Do you guys know the lyrics to the Jurassic Park theme?
I know you do.
Unfortunately, it's a family show and I can't sing it.
Yeah.
Something along the
But
lines of "We're gonna die."
No, it's holy effing s. It's a dinosaur.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ! What the f?
I love it. That's so good.
Well, now that I sang and everybody laughed, is it time to say goodnight?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Try the veal.
Don't forget tip your waitress. You know, it's
End
like
on a high
right.
note, guys. Gotta end on that high note.
another Seinfeld reference.
Right.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? It's about time to find a channel to raid.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
all I got is
Raid
McCall.
away.
Normally, I'd say let's go to Nightsisters, but he's on here.
I'm on, yes.
He is
Where's
on
that
here.
Where's
Thank
that
you
guy?
so much. You've got
Oh, he's
Caleb.
right there.
You've been great, man. Great topics.
Oh, you know who we have?
Yeah. Caleb, you're
Cody.
rocking it.
Cody Fandom. He's playing Kotar.
Okay. What's his
Kotar.
doodly do?
Knights of the New Republic or the Old
Knights
Republic.
of the Old
Yep.
Republic, good sir.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
And
new.
it is
Yep.
and I
It was
follow
new
this
back then.
guy on
Yeah,
Blue
definitely.
Sky and Twitter, but it's CODY FANDOM.
MOUSE.
Say that one more time. CODY.
FANDOM. And he's a huge
All right.
Star Wars guy. He's always talking Star Wars on Twitter, and I didn't know
Nice.
he had a Twitch until a couple days ago. He was playing Jedi Survivor.
Nice. Playing Coke.
Is he falling off as much as you, Keith?
No one falls off that
Dang.
much.
Oh,
All
sad.
right.
They got to up their game then, or down
Well,
their game.
In that case, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and end it here. And we'll say, good old thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for joining our live stream. We do this during Ahsoka. We do this every Wednesday and every Sunday. We also do watch parties on Fatherly Fandom, so make sure that you sign up for those, get notified of that. And
Oh,
speaking
so
of
much
getting
fun.
notified, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Click that bell to be notified of our future videos. Do all the YouTube stuff. Make sure you follow and subscribe Fatherly Fandom's YouTube channel. Make sure you check out Paul over on Nysith on Twitch and anywhere else, Paul.
Nope, that's it.
That's it. All right. Excellent. Then once again, thank you all for joining us, fellow nerds, and have a wonderful evening. And away we go.
There was plenty of time.